All right, should we get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
We're SEO Marketing Masters. This is Katie. My name is Angelo. Probably you can tell them what we do.
Yeah, so we have a digital consulting company, and we are very excited today to share with you all a little bit about digital marketing for your business. And basically, what we wanted to do is talk about the basics of your online hygiene. So, the four main concepts that we're going to be covering, we'll talk about in a minute. But today, we're going to be covering reviews. So, we'll go ahead and hop into the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first part of a four part webinar series that we put together for the chamber and for the members. So you get the core concepts. The whole thing is going to be very conceptual. We're not going to go in details about tools and whatever. It's also you get the core idea of each of the topics that we broke down in this four webinar series. And today is all about reviews.
Yeah.
So we should go ahead and
Perfect. So there we are. So digital marketing for your business. Like we mentioned, we are Katie and Angelo of SEO Marketing Masters, and we help business owners get found online. So this has to do with listings. There are over 70 search platforms, which we found out once we got into online marketing. Most people only know typically about 4 or 5 of them, Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor. And so we help people get found on all those different platforms. We help them manage their time, and we also help them get paid online. So basically automating all of these basics tasks so they can control their business better, meet their current customers' needs, and be more successful online.
So like I said, there are 4 parts to this webinar. We're going to do reviews, everything about reviews, email marketing and text marketing, crucial part of having a marketing campaign in place. Finding out how to get paid is part of the invoicing and estimates, and everything about social media on day 4, which would be Friday.
Yeah.
So let's go with reviews.
All right, beautiful. So we're just going to start out with a very basic but very strong and powerful example of the importance of reviews. So say here in Akron, Ohio, I'm looking for someone to fix my roof, and I don't have any roofing connections in Akron, unfortunately. So what would I do like anyone else would do? Go onto Google and search roofing companies in Akron, Ohio. I'd search for that keyword, right? So up come many, many examples, but these are just 2 off the top. So company number 1, R Crow Roofing. The only thing that I can see is that they have 2.4 stars with 10 reviews. Doesn't look too good for R Crow Roofing, just off the top of what I can see, and I don't have any recommendations to go off. So I'm gonna take a look at other ones. So I see ABC Roofing Inc. 9 reviews and a 5-star rating. So of course the obvious choice would be the second one. And this is something that we all do. It's not just for roofing. We'll show you another example with a dentist. So with dentist number 1, you can see here, I'm searching dentist in Akron, Ohio, and up pops a whole list. Unfortunately, dentist number 1, 3.2 rating and 114 reviews. So it's not just like there's one review, which does happen sometimes. That could be an issue with a low star rating. There's a lot of people on there that said that he didn't do well. Absolutely horrible experience here. Completely blew me off. Definitely not unless you want more problems with your teeth, which I definitely do not. So that would be one that, obviously that would be checked off right away. Dentist number 2, you can see here he has a great star rating and many reviews as well. And so it says here, Dr. Walton always does a great job. Someone's been there for 12 years. Every appointment's on time. Every time I go in the office, I'm immediately greeted. It's very obvious, as you can see in this example, that of course you're going to go with dentist number 2. So Angela's actually going to show you with a real live example.
I wanted to just go into Google and see what happens here. Let's say we do chiropractor in Akron. I don't know any of these people. Let's jump into maps, see what happens. All right, so there are quite a few options here. You can see there's a lot of people. Here, I want to address first these guys that look like they don't have that much information. For some reason, they don't have a score. And this is a great example of someone that hasn't claimed their business. So if you see right here, it says claim this business. And that basically means that they haven't registered their business, their location, their physical location on Google. And unfortunately with that, you can see that chiropractic care center, you see that's like a front yard,
Yeah.
that's not very taken care of, and there's no information about the hours of operation or the website, and there are no reviews. So if they exist, which I doubt, according to this information, I would most likely not go there. Now, if we look at another example, Accident Injury Center of Akron, 85 reviews, 4.9. So as
That's a
far
good
as
choice.
score, anything above 4 stars is a good score. And we can see there's a website, they claim their business, so that business actually exists. Let's see if they have some pictures. I mean, the pictures are not too bad. You can see the physical place. That might be the doctor. And go back.
So you can see the pictures are very important here. So you can see kind of what they're about,
Right.
what the
And then
documents
if
say.
you get to look at the reviews, 4.9, that's a great score. 85 reviews, that's not bad. I mean, it all depends on who you're comparing it to. And you have great service, wonderful people, great staff, pleasant environment. And you can see that the reviews are fairly recent. You don't want them to go over 2 weeks old. This is a month old, that's fine. But we have found people with reviews that go back to 2 years ago. I mean, so many things can happen in 2 years that you probably want to work on your online reputation. And I brought that concept now, online reputation, and that's what it means. It means basically how people can see you online.
So as you can see from those examples, it's very obvious why they're important. It's something that we all do, and we call it almost that you're losing invisible business, because there are customers that are searching for that keyword in your area, and you don't know that you're losing them. You're just getting X'd off right away by default if you don't have a good online reputation. So here's a couple statistics from a Bright Local survey in 2018 that show even more the importance of reviews. So it says here, 86% of consumers read reviews for local businesses, and 95% of millennials, 18 to 34-year-olds. So of course, as you can see, basically everyone is reading reviews online.
Yeah, it says here that 76% trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations from family and friends. So it's really, really crucial that not only people are referring you like word of mouth style, but also when they check you on Google, that you also have a great reputation.
If you're a product-based business, it says the purchase likelihood for a product with 5 reviews is 270% greater than a product with no reviews. And I'm not sure about you, but almost any time that I go to search for a product, if I look and it doesn't have any reviews, I don't buy that product. I immediately go to the next one. I don't know how long it's going to take to get there. I don't know if it's, if I'm trying to look for something bigger, it might be one of those mini versions. You never know. So that's why the reviews are super important for products.
And the average consumer reads 10 reviews before they can trust a business. It's really important to have as many reviews as you can on your business. Also, reply to those reviews as a business owner. It's crucial to see how, and we'll get to that also in the PowerPoint, but that you're able to reply to that.
And then the last one, 57% of consumers only use businesses with 4 stars or more. So anything, like Angela mentioned before, anything below 4 stars is considered bad online reputation or a bad rating, and will turn potential customers away. So we just have a couple ways that you can easily improve your online reputation, and a couple tips to go along as well. So the first one is to claim your business on all major search engines. And this is what Angelo talked about before. So basically, when you don't claim your business, Google doesn't know if you exist. So anyone could go along and claim your business. So it's very important that you just go, it's a simple move to claim that. And then you're able to make changes, as you can see below, if you don't, you can't make changes. So say that your address is incorrect or your phone number is incorrect, you can't make those changes if you don't claim your business. You also cannot respond to reviews, which is very important for your ranking on Google. I'm sure you've heard of the 3-pack before. So basically when someone searches for a keyword in your area, you want to appear in those top 3 search results. So if you can't respond to reviews, it doesn't really help with that as well. And then the last one, like we said, anyone could come along and claim your business, which definitely is not what you want online.
Yeah. So the other way you can improve your online reputation right away, right after this webinar, you can go ahead and do that, is make sure that all of your information online is correct, and make sure it's consistent. So let's say your website has all of your hours of operation, should be the same as the one that shows up on Google, should be the same as the one that shows up in Yelp or any of the other 70 plus platforms. Yeah. And make sure you have all the information there, everything's correct, and add pictures. I think we haven't talked about the pictures yet.
Yeah. So actually, just to add to what Angelo said too, in order to manage all of these things, there's actually a Google My Business app. So we use that to run our own business. You can do any of these suggestions that we're mentioning. You can claim your business, you can add photos, you can change any of the information. And sometimes it does it almost instantly. So it makes it very easy for you to manage that. Yeah. So the next one is to optimize your business's photos. So as you can see in the top example, this is something that we see a lot, is pictures of parking lots. And that's because I'm sure you've seen those Google cars that ride around and they're taking pictures of everything outside. So when you put in your information, you put in your address, it will automatically populate that picture. So unfortunately, as you can see here, if you have a home-based business or you don't have a very pretty storefront, it's not the best first impression that a customer would get of your business. So instead, you have to add pictures like we see below. So we included a couple examples from Google's best practices as to what you can add below there.
Yeah, because sometimes you go to someone's business or Google and you see these really bad pictures, like someone took it with their phone or something. And that's because technically Google crawls the web trying to find some type of information about your business, and sometimes they find pictures that someone else took randomly, and that's what pops in on the first page. So you probably don't want that. And as another thing is that I actually uploaded one time to a martial arts academy that I used to participate and go pretty often, and I uploaded that picture, and it said, Google sent me a message a couple months after. They said that picture has been seen by 5,000 people. So I mean, don't underestimate the power of having good pictures there. It's crazy. I mean, 5,000. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. And so just to add to that, obviously your customers can upload pictures but to be a little bit more in control, you can add pictures of your storefronts. You can see here, this is a very beautiful storefront of a crepe place. It looks like maybe a breakfast place. And obviously this will help your customers when they're looking for you and, okay, I'm driving and there's people behind me. Okay, oh yeah, I recognize that storefront. And it's also, you can kind of get a good idea of the business from the beginning. Another best practice from Google is if you have a bar, restaurant, brewery, anything like that, to have pictures of your food, of course, right? So if you can hire a photographer, that's great. But even some of the newer iPhones have very high quality photos, and you can take beautiful pictures and upload that through the Google My Business app. And then the other one, not sure if you can see it, but it's a person who's at a brewery and he's just smiling. And I think that's great to have people get kind of a feel of the ambience of your store, your restaurant. So those are just a couple examples. If you want any more ideas of Google's best practices for photos, you can just look it up right on Google. They have a whole list of all this stuff to include.
You can geek out as much as you want about this picture stuff, but I mean, keep it simple. Just do a little bit at a time, because it can be very overwhelming with all the different steps. And we haven't even talked about Yelp and other platforms, but Just make sure your store doesn't have a bunch of parking lots.
Okay.
All right.
So our next tip is to respond to all reviews. So you can see here they're the good. They are super excited about your business and they're writing all these great things about your business. Those are easy to respond to. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And the bad, the angry guy at the bottom, so you
Or
can,
girl.
or girl. Yes. Depends. Anyone can be upset about your business, right? So it says here, totally unprofessional, they lied about something. And you can see that the business owner is taking the time out because they're concerned about this review. And they're saying, I'm so sorry to read that you had a bad experience. Could you please send us a private message with your details and your vehicle number and your complaint? So, I don't know about you guys, but definitely we've looked up reviews before. And if I see a bad one with the business owner genuinely taking the time to respond in a professional way, then it almost negates that comment.
Yeah.
and makes it feel like they care and okay, if something happens, they're going to try and take care of it. And the last one is invite your customers to leave a review. So this is a very simple one, just to ask them verbally, if you're in the service industry or anything when you're dealing with your customers directly, just ask them. If they're coming to you, especially repeatedly, then they'll be happy to leave a review. You can also go to Google and actually get a link populated for, here's our particular one from Google, and you can send that through an email if you'd like. But if you don't want to get too complicated, you can just ask them to leave a review.
And like we said, there are tools to do all this stuff, and we'll get more into it later, but conceptually it's important that you understand this.
Yeah. So just to recap before we have some questions, the main takeaways for reviews would be that every business needs a good online reputation. You've seen through all of these different examples how important it is. So just statistically, we feel like the best is to have at least 10 recent reviews. That's good for the search engine ranking you. If all of your reviews are very old and they see that you're not getting any new ones, then it doesn't help you rank. So it's good to have the recent ones and a rating of at least 4 stars or above. Make sure all of your information is correct, and that's very easily to make sure that you have it correct through Google My Business app that you can put on your phone. Respond to all reviews, positive and negative, even though it can be difficult. Just make sure that helps for best practices and to look professional online. And also to ask customers for reviews. So either verbally or through email or any way that you'd like. Yeah.
I think I want to emphasize that part that you say that it's important that you ask customers for reviews. And I don't know if I said this, but if you are not inviting people to review your business, well, then you are always going to be subject to people that didn't have a great experience to be the ones taking the time to write you a really nice script. So there's always going to be the people that you can't please everyone, and that's fine. But those should not be the only aspects of your business that are reflected in your page. So it's important that you kind of like flood your Google page, Yelp, with positive reviews, and so people can see a wide variety of opinions and then take the next step.
Exactly. Yeah. So just to finish out, we say that a good online reputation increases your revenue as a business owner. It attracts new customers that you don't even have to work for because your reputation is working for you. You're automatically attracting those people, and it helps with ranking on major search engines with SEO.
Yeah, because Google is going to see all of that activity that you're generating in your Google page. People are posting reviews, you are answering, and you keep doing that. Google is seeing that. It'll help your SEO, believe it or not. It's important that you keep that interaction going.
Great. So before we go, we wanted to actually give you guys a little, it's a reference to a statistical kind of tool that you can use for your industry. So it's right here.
Yeah. We'll send you this link so you can keep it. But this is a great source for you to see, probably like in a more tangible way, how reviews can affect your business. So if you go here, for example, you can select the different industries. Let's say if we do auto services, and you can see a detail of what's going on in that industry in the United States. So services that don't claim their free listing, for example, on any review sites earn 26% less revenue. I mean, that's a number right there that you probably will make you take some action into improving your online reputation. And you can see there are other tips here that you can see according to your industry. And
so there's a good amount of different industries there.
Yeah.
You can take a look.
Yeah.
And see.
So we'll send you that link. We'll post it actually in the chat box, and so you can play with it.
So we just wanted to offer this, that if you have any questions about online reputation, I know it can be a lot of information in the beginning. We're happy to be a resource and to help you in any way we can. If you just want to kind of see what your listing accuracy looks like, or what your online reputation is, just to get an analysis, we're happy to do that for you. You can email us directly, or you can actually call us for a free analysis. We're happy to help in whatever way we can.
Yeah, any questions, reach out to us directly, and I think we're open now for
for any questions. So if you'd like to ask them,
or if someone wants to type in, we're open.
All right, so this is Jeff. Hello.
Hi, Jeff.
So I had a couple people that did a Google review for me.
Okay.
But yet it never has shown up as part of the Google My Business. And so I'm like searching right now, and I'm like, and everything I'm looking for, I know that they did it because I sent the link to them, but their review has never, ever shown up for me. And it's like, and these are two people that are awesome to me and everything else. And they worded everything just perfect.
Just as you said.
Yeah. So it was just one of the things that they never showed up. So I'm not quite sure, like, if they're just missing in action. And I'd hate to have to go back and like, hey guys, I'm not sure where it went. I know I've had you guys do this like 3 times already, but could you do it again?
Have you checked to see if you have multiple listings on Google? That's the only thing that I can think of right now.
I only have the one, and I just kept doing it. Like I said, I've been like going through here. I went to Google My Business and I looked at what I had there. They're not there. Just doing a search under my business on just in Google, looking for the exact match. There's nothing there as well. I'm like, okay, guys, you guys don't like me. It's okay.
I don't mean
on Google, you should like me.
Yeah.
Also, you guys, I don't want to oversimplify things, but did you try the link that you sent? Like, did you click it to make sure it went to the right place on?
It went.
Yeah.
It went there. So
that's weird. I've never heard of that.
I'm not quite sure. So apparently maybe reviews just don't like me because I've had the same issue with like Yelp. So.
Well, I don't think I've heard one person that has had a good experience with Yelp.
Yeah, it's the only review platform that has a terrible online reputation. That's
exactly.
No one likes Yelp.
No.
But it's important to have Yelp just because of the other reasons that we explained. But this Google My Business have all sorts of, things that they are improving.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be one of those situations because sometimes they don't let you change certain things. They take forever but we can definitely look it up with more detail.
Yeah, because sometimes it just takes one little outside perspective. We had one client that had 2 different listings, and he had this issue for a long time, and then all he had to do was contact Google. We're like, oh, you just contact Google, and then it was taken care of in about a week. So
Doc, I'm gonna send you a link, Doc, so that you can write me a review. Okay.
There you go.
Write your review. I have a question. So we're a radio station. Jeff and I work together on a radio station here.
Okay.
And we have 2 direct business paths. We have B2C, so our customer, our listeners, and we serve them with product and content. And then we have B2B, which is our advertisers or our underwriters, because we're a nonprofit. And so in one sense, with the listeners generally don't choose radio stations like they choose other services. So if you're looking for a chiropractor or a car dealer or something like that, you go online and you try to look at the reviews, especially doctors, and go, I want that doctor because they got 100,000 people and 5 stars. That's awesome. Well, the radio station, rarely do they even care about that. They're just specifically looking for something. So in our case, we're a Christian station. So if they're looking for Christian music, they might go local Christian radio, and then they would get us, and we've got all those things maximized. Okay. It's on the other side. And what the question is, I'm trying to figure out if reviews will help us. It would help us on the B2B side, but I'm not sure how to ignite that and totally divorce the B2C side. In a sense, because they don't really commingle. On the customer side, they want to talk prayerfully how great we are. And then on the business side, they want to talk how effective we are in helping them achieve their goals. And in this case, whether or not they're engaged with us in kingdom work. So any thoughts on that? Because we're kind of a different animal. We don't necessarily sell anything that you can take with you or that you can use at your house other than turning the radio on or streaming us online.
Yeah, I would say it would depend on the platform, because there's 70 plus platforms. So depending on who you'd like to appeal to, if you are appealing to businesses, or if you're appealing more to your customer base for the radio, I think it would depend on how you would approach that. Yeah. So Facebook reviews might be different than Google reviews, depending on which one of if it's customers or business would be searching for your radio station. So I guess it depends.
So for example, is there a specific platform for advertisers to see your radio station and kind of decide from there if they want to reach out to you?
Well, they can listen, certainly. And, one of our biggest challenges is the digital space, which is a distraction because statistically and all the research that we have, it isn't any more or less effective than radio, but it's got a shiny thing in the window thing going for it. And we don't, because we're the older one in the industry as far as media goes. So that's one of the things we're battling with that. And that would be where I would want those reviews to be directed, as the effectiveness.
Have you ever thought about running a campaign asking your listeners if they've used your advertisers, and then maybe doing a campaign on that experience? Because if they're talking about it, it would inspire more businesses to be like, hey, I want to hear how my product is doing on your, maybe even like a little weekly segment, nothing major, nothing big, but just so that maybe once a week they're talking about the experiences of using the products on the radio.
Yeah, we don't have, it's the conversion of getting our clients to actually go online and do something like that. We have plenty of people who say it's amazing for them and that it works. As it turns out, the wider the product, the better it is. The more narrow, the longer it takes. But I think that's true with any form of advertising. Yeah. It's converting those folks who come to us with their heart and say, this is wonderful, to go online. So
to go online and get them to leave a review.
Yeah, and I want it to be in the proper platform. I guess that's really the directed question to your point. How effective is LinkedIn versus for business to business? I follow on LinkedIn, and it looks like it's halfway social, halfway business.
LinkedIn probably would be the best, I think, for us in terms of going the route of getting businesses. But then that would just be, trying to figure out what, like, the campaign that we would want to run in order to do that. And I know I have a LinkedIn pay, or I have a LinkedIn thing, but I hardly ever use it because there's so many other, it's that one thing. It's like, you want to try one thing, but then there's this, and this that can also help you. And where is the time that I have in order to spend here, to spend here, to spend here, and it's something, and this is something that I do on a daily basis. So it's like, I've got to find more time to figure out how to, like for my business on LinkedIn, I need to put more time in there and hopefully be able to get some people that can recommend and reviews that way. the same is true with, my business on Facebook, and even trying to get Instagram and all that stuff done, because that's a whole nother beast.
Absolutely.
And then the same thing with the radio station, and trying to not only keep the engagement that we currently have with the listeners, but also with all those businesses that are underwriting with us, in order to keep them, and to make them go, you know what, yes, this is worthwhile, I want to continue doing what I'm doing. But then trying to get them to understand. So possibly LinkedIn, I guess. It just,
Right.
This is the thing this is my one tiny rant about digital services and things, is that they're presented as the end all be all, and they're really not, because I've done it so many times, that you really have to find a way to engage. And that's the thing that I'm looking for is, what are those little pieces that we can take out? Because a lot of the stuff that's out there is, pretty common knowledge. And so that's what I think radio stations commonly do, because they're not well staffed, is they just do the bare basics. They use Facebook, they put some stuff on LinkedIn, and then they send their salespeople out. That's about it.
Well, you know what? And that's why I kind of want you to stick to this next 3 days after this, to kind of learn all of the things that they put together, because this software, if anything at all, after the 4th class, you schedule an appointment with them, because they're talking about all of these things, but most importantly, they're going to give us tools to make it very user-friendly in the end. So that this software is for small businesses that don't have time to get on LinkedIn, don't have time to do all these. They're going to teach you how to utilize this software with all the things we're talking about. And that's why this is so important, because we know what we have to do, and a lot of it seems common sense, but who has the time for all of these things and to keep it? So that's why this is important, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. So like Cindy said, we are going to be discussing all these different aspects of digital marketing, but most importantly, software that can help you do automate it and have it all in one place, so you can save more time. So that'll be later in January that we'll be going over that. But tomorrow we'll be doing specifically email marketing. Talking in more detail.
So tomorrow at 12:30, we hope to see you guys and a whole lot more.
We appreciate you taking the time to watch.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.